Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Tea sippers, come on in. Tea sippers, come on in. I don't even know if I want to fool with that. R. Kelly hospitalized. I don't believe none of that.
And we're also following breaking news out of North Carolina about singer R. Kelly. The artist, whose legal name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, was rushed to the hospital last week after allegedly overdosing on sleep and anxiety medications given to him by prison staff. In court documents, lawyers for the
Sleep
singer
and
allege
anxiety.
that
They should have
staffers at
put
the
him to
federal prison
sleep,
are
right?
trying to kill him. He is serving a 20-year sentence after being convicted of racketeering and sex.
Wouldn't that have put his ass to sleep? Put that ass to sleep.
Prison are trying to kill R. Kelly. The artist, whose legal name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, was rushed to the hospital last week after allegedly overdosing on sleep and
Last week.
anxiety medications given to him by prison staff. In court documents, lawyers for the singer allege that staffers at the federal prison are trying to kill him. He is serving a 20-year sentence after being convicted of racketeering and sex trafficking in 2021. Joining us now, NBC's Shaquille Brewster with the latest. So, Shaq, what specifically are R. Kelly's lawyers alleging here?
Hi there. Well, you listed that big claim from his team, essentially that prison officials are trying to kill him in order to cover up misconduct.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
And this really all goes back to filing an emergency motion from his team last week in which they asked the judge to release him from prison and move him to home confinement. It was in that document where they had a declaration from an inmate who signed a statement saying that the official transferred him to Kelly's prison with instruction to kill the singer who is behind bars again on those sex-related crimes. In a filing this morning, R. Kelly's team released a statement or had a line in there that said, now prison officials have overdosed Mr. Kelly on medications and nearly killed him 2 days after he made those allegations public. So they are trying to get a judge to release him and move him to home confinement. And that's part of the claim and part of the argument that they're using to this judge, saying that something happened as recently as this past week.
I don't
And how is
believe
the
it.
other side, the prosecutors in this case, how are they responding?
Yeah, from the original documents and from that original motion, they pushed back fairly aggressively, calling the claims deeply unserious and theatrical, a fanciful
Very
conspiracy
theatrical.
that makes a
I
mockery
agree.
of the harm suffered by Kelly's victims. I want to read a line from their reply motion to some of those original claims in which they say Kelly refuses to accept responsibility for years of sexually abusing children and is using this court's docket to merely promote himself despite there being no legal basis to be before this court. They're also making a legal argument that essentially the court that Kelly's team filed this emergency motion in front of, they don't have jurisdiction to do anything in North Carolina where Kelly is being held.
I'm just
All right, Jack
waiting for
Brewster
y'all
with the
to come
latest.
on
Thank
in.
you.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app.
Ira tried it, y'all. Ira Kelly. I don't believe it at all. Again, I say you should know how many pills you take on a daily. And if somebody giving you more pills than you supposed to have, your ass should have been wise enough to know not to take them. Especially if you felt like they was trying to poison you. But it's just ironic that you mentioned poison before, a day or two before you was poisoned. And if the guy who they hired allegedly to do it told you, then who doing it now? I ain't buying it. You trying to get that sympathy, that what's his name? Old boy was trying to get. And I ain't buying it. Let's listen to our girl, Tisa. Shout out to her.
Travel can be a nightmare. Luckily, get them. But then you look at juror number 7. Hey, what's up, you guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are a Sean Diddy Combs, this is the absolute worst day ever for you. And by worst day, baby, we mean the worst day in the world. Y'all, what is going on? Hi to everybody. Listen, yeah. Oh, what's up, Diddy's having the worst week ever. He is having the worst day ever. He is having the worst year ever. I will say, by Diddy literally trying to be clever, and somebody leaked the fact of somebody leaked something about juror number 7, identifying information that, by the way, only the feds could actually have. Y'all, let's get into this and let's do a big recap, takedown of everything that happened in the courthouse. I had something good for you guys. I taped something special. It'll probably be coming out later on this week. Also, don't forget, when the prosecution rests this weekend, don't forget, when the prosecution rests this weekend, we are going to have a Is It RICO? We are going to have an Is It RICO, just so we can actually talk about everything that is going on. And I'm going to have a whiteboard Rico and an eraser, and we're going to play Is It RICO, because, baby, let me tell you something. The prosecution, they did their big one. This summary witness that actually lined up the hotel receipts to this, to that, and the third. The defense came back and tried to make us read all these boring text messages, and I get everybody's point. Oh, you found a few text messages out of a 10-year relationship where Cassie was like, oh yeah, great. You made us watch basically a half-hour of freak-off tapes, and by we, I mean the jury, a half-hour of freak-off tapes. But what did that really prove? That Cassie and Jane and Mia were high out of their minds and was doing anything. I keep confusing Mia for Jane. Y'all know I've been doing the best I can to make sure I don't say anybody's name. And I literally, these are the tricks I have to do in my mind. Mia, Jane, that, and the third. Y'all, let's get into the best of everything that happened in Diddy's thing. We are going to call this the Diddy Takedown Day. Now let's talk about juror number 7, right? Okay? Listen, one of the reasons why, and you got to look at this like this, a lot's been going on with juror number 7. Judge Aaron seems to be implying that he thinks Diddy's team leaked something. Why? Because leaking information about the jurors, especially identifying information that nobody could know except for the people inside the room, it doesn't help the prosecution at all. It only helps the defense. And why would the prosecution do anything for defense? Really quick, we're going to have a little matcha latte.
Get your latte.
There we go. Karma's chief correspondent. Everybody, you guys want merch? We now have merch. There's Diddy Did It t-shirts, Diddy Did It mugs, Tisa Tells mugs. I'm just saying, y'all, if anybody wants to support, I'm just saying, right?
Shout out to Tisa Tells.
Look, it even grabs lipstick oh so nicely. Anyway, y'all, let's get into this. Why is this Diddy's worst nightmare? Because it seems like he got caught with one of his plans. What is this plan, right? I believe that Diddy can use the dismissed jurors to actually get an appeal. Keep in mind, y'all, Diddy thinks he's going to be convicted. His team
he's going to be convicted.
They are setting up
it's
so
these slow,
that he can get an appeal.
Fans.
I'm not the only one that thinks that. Judge Mathis is also co-signed on this. Let me read y'all this article, right?
Judge Joe Brown.
Judge Mathis says Diddy has some more ammo for a potential appeal if he ends up getting convicted, and he will, in his federal criminal trial, namely the juror being dismissed by the judge. Judge Mathis joined whatever on Monday, blah, 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 blah. They said after juror number 6 was shown the door Monday morning after hearing arguments from the prosecution and the defense regarding the jurors' lives, but where the juror lives, but Judge Mathis says the decision came down too quickly. That is 100% not true. Okay,
it's not true.
The fact that nobody is saying that a juror whose candor has been called into question, when you have 6 alternates in a high-profile trial, and you're trying to say it's no big deal, it really, honestly, to God,
he's not in the right jurisdiction.
Sense, okay? They said the jurors should have been given more time and opportunity to prove he lives in the Bronx. Again,
he did. He couldn't tell the truth.
Does he live in the Bronx? The judge said he probably does live in the Bronx. However, there is an issue with candor. You cannot expect us to truly take this guy seriously and think that he is being candid about anything when you cannot even answer the most simple questions of where do you live, and it keeps sliding. So I disagree with Judge Mathis there, right? And he suggests that Diddy's defense will use, oh my God, Sniffers Pub custom sprinkles. Said $25 for a sweet treat. Oh, thank you, Sniffers Pub sprinkles. I appreciate that. Or is it Snipers? Snipers Club Speakers? Set up. You'll know I'm dyslexic. Thank you so much for the Cash App, okay? Hold on really quick. Hold on. Merch. Anyway, y'all, listen. I had to defend your honor today, and it was a pleasure to do so. Tisa, the haters are pushing you up. I'll purchase a membership when I can. Linus, thank you so much. I will say one thing, you guys, I am confusing Mia with Jane Doe, okay? So just keep that in mind, all right? Anyway, what is it? Okay, so they are suggesting that Diddy's defense will use this dismissal if they end up needing to appeal a guilty verdict. Listen, they are going to use Diddy breathing for an appeal. The fact that we somehow think that Diddy, through all this, who had his kids sitting there listening to him talking about drop kicking somebody, would have any type of shame or even moral compass. Diddy is going to do a blood ritual sacrifice on the rats and roaches in his jail cell. I was about to say his cage, in his jail cell, before he'll do anything. Diddy will sell all of his children to a trader in the south of France. He will do anything at this point to get away with this. So of course he's going to apply for an appeal, even if he has nothing. Look how many times Tory Lanez applied for appeal. Look at Harvey Weinstein. He's going to apply for a appeal. Now here's the thing. I still keep going back to, why did Diddy want that juror to stay so bad? And don't give me, oh, it's because diversity. This is one of the most diverse juries even Diddy's team has said. And there are other, if that's the issue, black men, right? So why were you fighting so hard for this jury? Why were you acting like it was the last flight out of Armageddon? But then you look at juror number 7, the way they strategically leaked information about juror number 7. Now here's the real gag, right? Let's get into juror number 7 and why the judge is so mad and why that juror might be dismissed too. Again, I feel like Diddy is stacking the deck, okay? Now, juror number 6 is, oh, I knew it. Everybody said he was black. I was like, I don't know, maybe Afro-Latino, but we don't know, right? And he's been replaced by the first alternative, okay? Now, they have released doxing information about juror number 7. I'm not releasing that, because he's still, as far as I know, a juror, and y'all not getting me kicked out the courtroom. I don't care who publishes it. Diddy's team has got me with the, I believe to be Diddy's team, has gotten me with the okie doke, I believe, a couple times. I believe they super chat me, knowing that I'll be paying attention to something I wanted me to say. They have tried to trip me up. They have literally teamed up in my mind with scumbag blogs that literally watch my lives religiously and try to repost stuff to create a false narrative. They have done everything they can to get me out of court in my mind, except for get a real PR person, because people keep telling me that Diddy has PR boots on the ground. And I will say that if they do, they are doing an absolutely horrible effing job. You cannot convince me that Diddy has, in the last 4 weeks, has had any PR. Because what PR person with any type of mind would link up with scumbags? I get it. If this was like the court of public opinion, maybe the scumbags would be loud. But who literally links up with scumbags when your client is accused of being scumbag? Do you not know you need to take it to the church? Do you not know you need to start praying? Do you not know that you need to disassociate yourself with those scumbags and those woman haters and people that would just say everything? You can't link up with somebody to put a good narrative out when they go to, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but when they go to the channels and it has a very anti-woman slant, a very misogynistic slant, a very clout chaser slant, where you'll just say anything for whatever. You cannot link up with people like that. You can't. Now, if it was me, I would have tried to link up with Rotten Mango. I would have tried to link up with Armand Wiggins. I would have tried to link up with Queen Sheba. I would have tried to link up with so many, with Trent Out Loud. I would have tried to link up with like Remy from All Hip Hop Canada, which by the way, All Hip Hop be getting some scoops. I would have tried to link up, and there's other Mel, Watching the World Mel. There's so many reputable bloggers that are in the courthouse right now. I would have tried to link up with people that had a little integrity. And when you went to their village, it wasn't an all woman hating all the time. It wasn't
you got people out there hating
all the time.
Hating on you because you hook up with somebody that got some sense.
Had any real PR in their court. And if they did, baby, they need to get their money back. Horrible
Hi,
job.
Candy.
Oh,
Hi,
Heather Ibarra Taylor said, I was just watching an interview from Christian.
Please come in, hitting the like button.
Exposing Young Miami. I was Diddy's paid top freak off person. Apparently, Young Miami was making $250K a month. It seems like she was up there with KK. Let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something. I do not believe for 1 second that Young Miami was getting $250K a month. That was all lies. You cannot tell me that Young Miami and Diddy's cheap self was giving her $250K a month. It's just not happening. It don't make any sense.
We ain't buying
I 100% don't believe that. All these lies that people been telling about what they've been getting from Diddy. Listen to the Jane Does. Listen to the Cassie. Cassie wasn't even getting $250K a month, and Cassie was with Diddy at the height of his thing. And Diddy, well, I don't want to say love, but for a monster, that was his favorite. That was his favorite victim. If Cassie wasn't getting $250K a month, what made you think Young Miami was getting? Are y'all forgetting that Diddy was playing the mess out of Young Miami before this stuff came down?
She was up in the nosebleed
seats. She was buying that full change. She was up in the nosebleed seats talking about some gold poppy. Why young, who was it? JT was like, girl, sit down, sit down. Diddy?
And he was on the stage giving Cassie, thanking her for
super complicated and
hanging with him in the dark time.
That's why I love Hungry Root.
And she's saying, go Poppy.
Meals in under 10 minutes with groceries.
Go Poppy, go Poppy, yo.
Oh, that's totally what? He wouldn't even claim that girl. And you telling me that he's giving $250K a month? He ain't never given a woman $250K a month. Listen, Lachey Mitchell said he gave her a show on Revolt. Okay. But honestly,
so that means
Young
she was
Miami
working.
could have gotten that show on Revolt. When Diddy got with Young Miami, she was at her city girl prime. Now, they both stepped away from the city girls, JT and Young Miami.
From Brooklyn.
And again,
shout out
this is how Diddy changed the narrative. Y'all act like when Diddy got with Cassie, she was a bum. She had a #1 hit. She had the #1 mixtape for a year. Back then, she was up there like going toe for toe with Beyonce. Now, I know Beyonce is a legend now, but back then, Beyonce was just another popular artist. Cassie, at one point, did dominate. Diddy got with her because of that. Same thing with Young Miami. Diddy didn't give her a show on Revolt. Young Miami could have gotten that show on her own. On her own, without knowing Diddy. She was half of the biggest rap group a female rap group in the last 8 years. Literally. She was doing big things. Diddy is a master at getting with women when they're at the height of their fame and then everybody acting like they're above. Diddy didn't give Young Miami a show on Revolt. Revolt TV used Young Miami to build the platform. Now, she could have said she wanted a podcast. He might have said, yo, come. But that Carisha Roulette, Young Miami gave Diddy millions in free advertising for that tequila he had. She gave him millions in free advertising. She made Diddy current.
I miss Puzzling.
She put Diddy back on there. And no, I'm not talking about the people that were going to the Bad Boys reunion concert. I'm talking about the fact that Diddy needed to be pulled down. Let's not forget that Young Miami is only 20-something? We're not even thinking about Diddy's 6-year-old stuff unless you're talking about looking at him like he's a trick. Diddy ain't give Young Miami nothing. And even with that show on Revolt, Young Miami's talent and interview style is what made Carisha Please blow up. And for everybody to act like Diddy couldn't even give his own self a hit album. Diddy couldn't give his own self a hit show. So please tell me, you know how Jay-Z said, if you really put me on, put yourself on too. Diddy
Bahamas in the building.
He didn't give his own self a hit show lately. So how did he give Young Miami anything? You can't give somebody something that you can't even get yourself. Survivor's Voice, thank you for being a member for 1 month. You said Tyler Perry being sued by a man for essay, and he has all the receipts. They're going down. Yes, listen, as soon as I'm done giving the Diddy recap, we're going to go in, and I'm going to go live, and I'm going to read the whole Tyler Perry lawsuit. Miss Know-It-All, you said, Tisha, I've been waiting for day 26, the whole trial. Girl, so have I. Is it day 25 or day 26? I don't know yet. Day 26. I'm just here for the vibes. Just Trina 333, thank you so much for this super chat. I appreciate you greatly. Also, hold on, we're going to get in. Oh my God, Greer Curtis, thank you so much for the super chat, right? People said, but here's the thing. What is stupid if people are saying Cassie was a bum? She wasn't just 19. Cassie was super, super, super hot. She was 19. All the guys wanted her. All the girls wanted to be with her. She had the #1 mixtape. She had the #1 album. The fact that people are forgetting that there is a reason why Diddy decided to claim Cassie. And it wasn't because he loved her. He looked at Cassie as an asset. Diddy is super, 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 he's super, super strategic, you know? Nadia said, Carisha held City Girls down when JT went to jail. She's a mother as well, and everything she had, she played her cards right, as she always has, just like Mary J. Blige. Let me tell you something. I still think Carisha is playing her cards right. Again, clearly,
she is beautiful.
Diddy's trial said their defense is only going to last a week. Clearly, Young Miami ain't testifying for him. But Young Miami is the reason Carisha Please is a success. And Young Miami is the reason Revolt gave her a show. And Young Miami is the reason. And the fact that people are trying to act like Diddy did something for Young Miami's career. If anything, when he got involved, the City Girls broke apart. She had that show from Revolt. But just like what he did with Cassie, he was so busy playing the role of his girlfriend that she wasn't even capitalizing off of Carisha Please. Now she's back on her bag, but she missed a lot of momentum. Thank God she's talented, or she's always going to be okay. But anyway, hold on, y'all. Let's get back into what Diddy was doing. We have so much to do, right? Also, I do honestly think MLK, thank you, MKL, thank you so much, right? Because a lot of people are thinking that Diddy's team is leaking major juror information. Info about juror number 6, but more importantly, juror number 7, that was dismissed, was published in the article after they had the steal. And it was only what they could have actually known. Again, I think Diddy is setting things up for an appeal going or question, okay? Listen, also, this is very, very interesting, right? Diddy's team, Also, I did hear that thing about the juror that giggled during the freak off tape. I'll be honest with you. I didn't see a juror giggle. I didn't hear a juror giggle, but I'll tell you, there's 12 plus 6, 8, well, now there's 12 plus 6 is 18, right? Yeah, so now there's 17 people up there. It could have been a possibility that actually happened, and I just didn't notice, okay? I'm not the all-seeing eye of Horus. Maybe there was a giggle. I didn't notice it, but I was busy, scanning 17th theater. I did see winces. I did see looks of disgust. I did see all that stuff, okay? So for you guys asking me that, right? Again, they showed about 30 minutes of freak-off tapes, all to prove that Cassie, I believe they're Cassie's freak-off tapes, because I don't think that they had any tapes with Jane Doe. Maybe, I don't know. I do know that they said that they had 9 tapes with Cassie. They showed about 3 or 4, and they showed like a lot of time. And I think they were trying to show that she enjoyed it. But if somebody is high out of their mind, what are you going to do? I do also know that today was devastating. They proved the RICO. Now, here's the thing. You can argue whether you think Cassie was a willing victim or not. I get that. You can argue whether you think Cassie...
She did not start out a willing participant. She did not start out willing. Hell, she didn't even want him kissing on her 21st birthday. Let's be clear. And he has made it clear that if you want to be with him, any shape, form, or fashion, you have to agree to these freak-offs. So by the time it was over, she felt obligated. She felt forced. Hell, because at one time she tried to leave that we saw. It could have been others, but we saw that one. He dragged that ass back. So whatever videos they have, she was performing. He was standing right over her. What in the hell was she supposed to do? Okay.
Was a willing victim or not. That is what the jury is supposed to say. But you realize that whether Cassie was a willing victim or not has very little to do with the
he in trouble.
Yes, for the sex trafficking charge, because you need 2 predicate charges. Those are 2 criminal, at least 2 criminal to get RICO. Sex trafficking is one of them. But wire fraud, right? Moving escorts over state lines, embezzlement, corporate crimes. I'm trying to think.
I ain't even want to talk about embezzlement.
Arson. These are all predicate crimes.
Tax fraud.
You can argue whether you think or not sex trafficking occurred with Carrie, occurred with Cassie. But the whole point of the matter is that I think we all need to focus on is the government is still showing the RICO, because the RICO is how Combs Global and Combs Babbley Entertainment use their money to pay for freak-offs, for escorts, for bribery, which last time I checked are predicate crimes. So now that we have the prostitute that the company paid for.
People still have something to say.
State lines, the flying the men across state lines. Now that we actually know that KK and all of them knew about the bribery, and KK was on text message saying, "Oh, just tell them they had a wild drunken night out," instead of what was really going on. Now that we know that KK was on it, now that we know that the whole team and the accountants was like, "Yo, get this cash," because 100,000 came from somewhere. Now that we know that the bribery, that the money laundering, that this and that, and all this stuff happened, those are predicate crimes. The RICO is right there. People are arguing whether the sex trafficking occurred, but you realize the RICO can happen without the sex trafficking. And
absolutely.
For your information, to actually be like, "Oh my God, it was consensual." Well, then there's the video. And that's why they were trying to get it sold out. You can show me a bunch of texts from 2007, 2008, 2009, 2011, whatever it was, where Cassie being like, "Yeah, let's have the freak off. Come freak off of me." Yeah, you can give me all that. But I still have a video from 2016 when you are holding her hostage, mollywoppering. Let's also not forget what he did with Cassie when he broke her face open and put her in a hotel and had D-Rock
that's right.
over her, where they have all the text messages.
In the UK.
That was kidnapping.
Hey,
kidnapping is not just putting a hood over somebody's face and like throwing them in a van. It's also restricting their movement. If you try to walk past me and I put my hands out like this and I won't let you go, and I'm confining you to a space and you don't want to be there, that is kidnapping. Yep. If I grab you and make you stay in the room, that's kidnapping. If I lock the room door and don't let you leave,
that's kidnapping.
That's a predicate
if you put me in the car
for RICO. Do you guys realize that the sex trafficking and the RICO don't need to be connected? However, sex trafficking is an underlying predicate
I'm trying to walk out the door. You won't let me. That's kidnapping.
and you get convicted of the sex trafficking, right? Which is could be one of the underlying crimes, but it doesn't have to be. That 20 years of life, now you're looking at more like life. On top of that, you have obstruction of justice. What's the obstruction of justice? That phone that Diddy kept hidden and then texted KK like, yo, you're not gonna believe what I found. It doesn't matter whether there was evidence on that phone that would help or hurt Diddy. When the boys ran up into your place and they told you when they left after kicking over Baby Love's baby dinosaurs and kicking over Baby Love's tricycle, right? Because that's what they do in raids. They ignorant about it, right? They'll come and you'll be like, you'll have like a whole Monopoly game that your family's been playing for a year. And they'll flip the Monopoly board. Why? Just because. That's what they do in raids, right? My whole point of the matter is, I say all this to say, all this shit happened, right? All this shit happened, and you're literally trying to act like with that.
Hey, howdy ho, neighbor! Request to locate, huh? I think.
If you'll notice, it said, listen,
Hi,
we
Aaron.
searched it, however,
Thank you, Miss
please turn
Pusley.
over any and all, right? Any and all, including, but not any, what is it? Any and all iPads, electronics, phones that you might have, all right? Including iPads, phone, but not limited to. Literally saying whatever we miss, you have a civil duty to turn it over. And even if you give it to your lawyers have a civil duty and a criminal duty to comply with what it is. So again, for people saying, I don't see the RICO, well, I don't know what to tell you because the RICO's there. Now we can argue whether you think there is a sex trafficking charge on the RICO, but they don't need the sex trafficking to prove RICO. And by the way, I do actually think that they have a sex trafficking charge. I do 100% believe that they have a sex trafficking charge. Also, Yoisa, thank you for calling. You guys, we do have mugs. We do have merch. Check out the merch store. There is a link that should be pinned in the chat, and B is also pinning links. Dezet, thank you so much for the super chat also. Also, House of Wild said, I hollered when you said, I don't know what day it is. I'm just here for the vibes, because same, exactly. I don't know what day it is either. I'm just here for the vibes. Dezet, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, thank you again. There you are. Yoitza said, Diddy only has gone public with women who already had a name for themselves. Exactly. People are literally buying into Diddy's fame. It's just like the way Little Rod discovered that Diddy don't even know how to read, produce, or write music. Oh my God. The Saint Boniface. Woo! Thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all buying me breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Saint Boniface, thank you so much for that generous super chat. Also, Dezet said, have you been feeling safe outside the courtroom? A lot of folks worried about Stephanie Sue Rotten Mango not posting for a week. So let me tell you something, and I'll be honest with y'all. You know me. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna do shit, right? Even though I'm like, security, right? Like, this is how I make my money, right? My boyfriend, my partner, actually did get me security. I've had security for the entirety of the trial. And at some point when weird stuff was happening, we doubled up on the security. And by we, I mean he. But yeah, I'll be honest with you. There's been a lot of weird stuff happening.
Kevin, Diddy did that to himself. You should have told that to Diddy. You should have told Diddy to stop forcing people to doing stuff. Come on, Kevin. Ain't nobody turned Diddy down. We just talking about the shit Diddy did. Hey, Philip Drummond. It's all full circle, baby. It's all full circle, baby. How long has AunTeaFee been saying this? Huh? We're getting closer to the higher up. We're getting closer to the higher up. What? We're getting closer to the higher up. We're getting closer to the higher up. Let's go. Yeah. Diddy did this to himself. Jay-Z coming. Kanye coming. It's a whole bunch of them coming. That's why Suge Knight said, man, now we ain't saying you didn't do it. We just saying you need to bring everybody with you. You shouldn't be up there by yourself. Suge said that. And he don't even like it. He said, I ain't saying he do it. I ain't saying he a gold digger. I'm just saying he ain't messing with no broke nigga. He couldn't stop that freaky shit. Now he about to do time. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Tell that to your boy.
I can see why Stephanie Sue, she literally, so the mangoes are there. She comes, but she comes like when I don't want to give her thing because I don't want to do anything, but I don't want to like give anybody information, but she's there. And she's very protective of her privacy, as she should have.
See, this is the problem I have with you people.
There's a lot of weird stuff that is 100%
this is the problem I have with you people.
In and out.
This is the problem I have with you people. Respectfully, Bang Life, the money stopped. The charges came. Grown folks was enjoying life. Now, the money didn't stop. The feds came. The feds came because people started realizing that a lot of their PTSD was because some shit happened to their manhood while they was at these parties and they didn't realize and they didn't understand why they had hemorrhoids and shit. Huh? Diddy did a lot of stuff that he should not have done. Period. And this is the problem I have with y'all. Y'all make excuses for predators. And then act like y'all don't know why he facing life in prison. Y'all act like y'all don't know why it's this, that, and the other. So that's why I highly suggest to my brothers and sisters that y'all turn y'all life around and stop living for a good life. Because some of the stuff that y'all are doing is illegal. And I'm going to say it again. Like Boosie said, they going to catch that ass on the back end. They sick of y'all. They sick of y'all feeling entitled. Well, the white man do it. Yeah, and some of them locked up too. How about that? How about that? So stop that. Y'all are keeping that demon going. And it made me think that y'all out there doing the same thing. And if you don't want to accept reality with Diddy, then hell, y'all not going to accept reality with yourself. And that's just the bottom line. And I ain't going to have no pity on none of y'all. Y'all ass get locked up. Caught up in that stupid shit. And they'll be like, yeah. And I'm going to say, didn't they get Ira? Now Ira trying to play handicap and sick and shit. Like he can't count his pills. Well, hell, while you was up there messing with these minor ass kids, then you should have been going back to school and learning how to count 1, 2, 3.
Of the courtroom. A lot of weird stuff that is 100% happening in and out of the courtroom.
You're right, Dean. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I see how people could be worried. From what I hear, she is safe. She's protecting her privacy. And again, my partner got me security. And I feel a lot safer. So when you see me out live, when you see me filming, when you're like, Tisa, protect yourself. Don't worry. I am. If not, I wouldn't be so loosey-goosey because we got security early. A lot of weird stuff happening. And it happened around the time with the free.
Let me say this. There are a number of reasons why I like Dolph. There are a number of reasons why I just, wow. And I just know that he said that his partners, his friends from his hood, Castelia, Magnolia, and around the block, or whoever he went and picked up, that he gave the blueprint on how to make it without having to bend over, just bend over for the industry. He said he didn't want them to have to compromise their manhood. See, he turned that shit down. And he wanted to let them know how to get it without giving it up, giving it up, giving it up, giving it up. He offered Jay-Z millions and millions of dollars, more than what he was asking for. And he turned it down because Dolph was too independent for him. They can't do nothing for no independent person. And mad as hell that he was willing to give up the blueprint so that they would not have to need their asses for nothing. He was trying to tell us, I mean, I thought we already knew. That's why he was going hard for his family and his partners that was up under. Well, he went hard for some that was not up under him, so that they would not have to be a victim of Diddy, Jay-Z, in the industry. Let's just keep it real. That's why I love Dolph. He was just too cool for cool. He was just too smart for smart. He was just too caring for caring. Yeah. And he had the blueprint, and they couldn't stand it. So they had to eliminate it. Like they done other people. Send the little peons to do petty ass shit. But I'm going to keep going. Let's go.
Diddy stuff, and now
Shout out to
like,
Dolph.
I don't think that Diddy has any qualified PR on the ground, that they have any, but I do know that weird stuff was happening, and weird stuff that was meant to intimidate, that was meant to bully, that was meant to frighten. So we got security, you know, and Stephanie's doing what she needs to do also to make sure she's safe. I don't want to put her business out there, but she is doing what she needs to do to make sure she's safe. And she is in the courtroom. Anyway, T said, please tell these Tootsie Roll supporters to STDA up. Oh. Listen, first of all, I don't think, let me tell you something. I realized just even from talking to people on YouTube, a lot of these views and even, what do you call it, streams, these trolls in not just my stream, but lots of streams. I've been talking to a lot of YouTubers that don't have pro-Diddy, don't have a pro-Diddy stance, and they have said that their numbers are being toggled. When I say toggled, YouTube is one of the hardest things to fake engagement. You can have fake viewers on Instagram. You can have fake viewers on well, I don't know if you can have fake viewers on TikTok, but you can have fake viewers on Instagram. You can have fake views. You can have fake views. You can definitely have fake views on Facebook. YouTube is very, very strict on that. So when you have fake viewers or fake views, which usually comes from troll bots being attacked, that's why suddenly out the blue, my streams, their streams will be attacked. Oh, free Diddy, I don't see RICO. What's the point, right? I'm telling you what's happening. There are troll bots coming out, and they're very, very, they're not just dumb bots. You're paying for someone that maybe for one iPhone runs 500 accounts that they post up, and then the AI starts talking to each other. YouTube is very, very good about seeing what the origin is, and if all this traffic is coming from one IP address, they know it is a troll house, right? But the trolls have gotten really smart because they have AI. They can talk to each other. They can boost. You ever be arguing with somebody that makes no sense? They ignore and they just keep saying things. These are these new troll farms. So YouTube, and I'm talking to other creators, YouTube is very, very, very big about shutting those down because it messes up the integrity. That's why, you know, when people are on YouTube and they have views, those are real views. You cannot buy views on YouTube. And if somebody was dumb enough, YouTube everything scans, and shuts down these bot accounts. They
shut them down, but they damn sure can use them.
It's how we get our ad revenue. So YouTube looks at it as if you're stealing. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But again, Rotten Mango, I believe her concerns are valid. I believe what she's doing to protect herself. And I believe pretty much everybody, especially the women that have been, and maybe the men too, I don't know, right? Because, you know, you intimidate men different with women. Men might have to worry about a fight. Women, we got to worry about being raped and a fight. You see what I'm saying? So it's everybody's concerned, but it's different things. And I know that I did what I need to do to protect myself, to make sure that I could actually be here out there for, right? Again, it is what it is. Nurse K, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. And St. Bonnie, thank you so much. Andrea Bell, thank you so much for the super chat, right? Stephanie Sue is Rotten Mango. If you guys don't know who she is, check out her channel. I mean, baby, she is, right? She is up there. Also, you know who I saw? I saw Lovely T. I saw Nick.
Hey, Willie Spencer.
Nick at night. Amazing woman. Lovely T. Oh, her skin is like satin. She's so nice. They're both super, super nice, super beautiful women. It's nice when you meet people that you always watched on YouTube and they're just as amazing in person as they are. Yeah, amazing. Listen. At the end of the day, you do what you do. Bromelina said, shout out to your partner for getting you extra security. Yeah, listen, I took it as a joke, but he didn't. And I'm glad it didn't, because again, it was this weird, hostile, bullying energy, getting these low rent, like hating women, hating black women, trying to bully, and just all this weird, lowbrow shit that's happening. And when your client is being accused of being the devil, that's what you want to do? Go to lowbrow? I guess it's above me now. Calamity Girl said, I think it's a demonic activity. Am I right? From one creator to another, you're smashing it. Oh, Calamity Girl, make sure y'all go and check her out. Listen, that's another thing, you guys. Thank you so much, Calamity. We'll talk about it in a second. B, thank you. Said, I'm a commenter on Nancy Grace. Let's have a commercial. We have a commercial break. Just so you guys don't know, this is Carmen's chief correspondent. We have lots of merch, mugs, tote bags, t-shirts. Yana, Diddy did it. Listen, come on in and shut the door. I think we even have some Sussex Squad stuff. Go ahead and check it out. But you said, I'm a commentator on Nancy Grace. Run up the views and leave a comment to support and let them know Tisa is fire. You guys, if you do watch me on Nancy Grace, please, whether it's a TikTok or the thing, please leave a comment in support. It really does mean a lot to me, and it really does help me grow. And I'm telling you, I think I have something good for you guys coming after the Diddy trial, but we will see, right? Oh, JCD said, I just bought a t-shirt and a mug. I know that's right. Listen, at the end of the day, also Phoenix Indigo said, couldn't trafficking be based on hiring, transporting sex workers alone? People don't know sex work is still illegal except certain counties in NB. Well, Phoenix, you hit it on the head. Again, I'm not trying to convince the idiots that are arguing about whether that should be the legal code. Because, Phoenix, we're on the same page, right? There's a lot of idiots out here arguing that the federal penal code, the criminal justice code, is not, what? They're literally arguing about whether sex trafficking by fraud actually exists. It does. It's a criminal statute.
It sure
Doesn't
is.
matter whether you acknowledge it. It's a criminal statute.
Y'all better be better. Let me say this to you. Y'all better be better criminals. Y'all better do y'all research. If y'all gonna try to do these, insist on doing these crimes, y'all better check the penalties for it. I'm sure he didn't think what he was doing was going to get him up to life in prison. I bet you he wish he would have did his research. I mean, since you insist on breaking the law, you need to find out if what you doing, what you sneaking and doing is against the law and what is the penalty. So you can make a wise decision that is worth it, a compromising, losing your family, all of that. Sitting behind bars, trying to fake like you're sick and shit. Yeah, you need to check and see if it's worth it. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Yeah. Or if you think you may want to back that thing up. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Back that thing up. Yeah, you may want to back that thing up and go get a legitimate job. Because they not playing with that ass. Oh, that's a misdemeanor. They just having fun. Okay. And they gonna have Bubba and Billy Jean and Lil Ricky and Pepper, whatever them little old baby ass names they got in the federal penitentiary. They gonna have a good time with your ass too. Like we said earlier, y'all might as well go on and have an orange party and call it drop that soap. Have a drop that soap party. Yeah. And just baby oil, drop that soap. Baby oil and soap. That's all you need. Come in your orange. Sag your pants. Easy access. So they can do you like they did a boss man below, whoever. Because I'm telling you, their asses was slipping and sliding. He couldn't get a good lick in. Slipping and sliding on all that. Who laced the club floor with baby oil? They saw that shit in that movie that time. Mud Deal now. And baby, that club was that the slippery slope ass club? Because he could not get a swing out. And then on top of that, he said, bring that task here. And yanked his pants off that ass. Huh? Huh? Hey, Queen Lakers. Hey, thank you for the jewels. Did they yank that ass up? Yank that ass up. I mean, that he had one of them finesse 2-time male booties, man. I'm telling you. And I guess, whoever he was fighting wanted to see that ass. So all I'm saying to you is you better make wise choices. Because they are on the roll. They finna hem y'all asses up. Don't laugh at me, fella. You know I'm telling the truth, baby. I'm telling you, that boy was oily as hell. Diddy saw that and he was like, damn, boss man, shit. We can do some business together. That ass there? Shit. I mean, I can't even show y'all. Can I show y'all the floor? I mean, it was all his hair. Every time he slid to the left, his whole side was glistening. He turned over, the other side was glistening. And when that man had him, was he on his back? He was on his side. Then he flipped him over. Flip over. You know, that real quick flip over. You know, he didn't even have a chance to say, yeah, no, he just flipped that ass over and started yanking his pants off of him. That little meat did something because, you know, AunTeaFee gotta see. I gotta see to be able to tell my tea sippers. You know, I was looking with my good eye. I ain't see nothing jangling. Well, hell, I guess it wouldn't be hard. As hard as they was beating his ass, huh? There we go.
Whether it's a lifestyle. Moving prostitutes across state lines. Are you out of your mind? Arguing to the federal government that it's a lifestyle.
Lord, let me find that fight.
Weed mixed with crack. You realize smoking
crack.
Let me
find that fight.
Illegal,
baby,
right?
he
and
was
I don't
slipping
care
and
if you and all
sliding.
your friends do it. And I don't care if you got YouTube
Darcy.
videos showing us how to mix in crack, weed, Colombian dancing dust, Trixie, Dixie, whatever, Tucci, Lucci, Fatusi, whatever they call it these days. It doesn't matter that that's your lifestyle, right? Which is dumb. Your lifestyle is illegal and you will be held accountable for that. And we have people literally going in trying to act like it's not what it is. KB said, Tisa, could you do a live going over each charge and what it takes to convict, then show what has been said to prove each crime? I need a PowerPoint. You know what? I am. This weekend, this Saturday, I promise we're going to have a Is It RICO, where I'm going to don a sexy teacher outfit and glasses and go in. Maybe if I can find a pointer or a ruler, we will do that. Welcome to Is It RICO, right? Is it, listen. Exactly. Is it RICO? That's what we are doing. House of Wall said, thank you. Thankful for your safety. You and me both. Things got weird. I remember when I had this, there was somebody that was wearing a free Diddy shirt. That was
deeper than booty.
And here's the thing, they didn't approach me.
Baby.
They waited till people were
What?
asking me questions and waited till I was done asking questions and then started screaming, pulled their phone out and started screaming, F you, Tisa, lying ass B, get the F out of our city, get the F out of our city, get the F out of our city.
Oh, that truth hurt them, Tisa.
But it wasn't
The
craziness.
truth hurts.
It was meant to intimidate me. They were hoping I would be scared. And the next day, I came to court with a goon on the left and a goon on the right. And baby, they were not my good angel, bad angel. You want to play this goon game? There you go. Talk to my goons. That's the last time I ever had trouble. But again, this person, I talked to other creators, had also been harassing them. And people were saying that they were either tight with the Diddy camp, or maybe Diddy just got like a bunch of dummies representing them.
Oh, he do got a bunch of dummies.
One of the people that were paid to leave a free Diddy, and they made a scene. And that's when I realized, talking to other creators, that there was so much demonic chaos going around, and it was all erupting at the same time. And that's what made me honestly believe and honestly see that at the end of the day, this was a concerted effort to intimidate anybody that was not pro-Diddy into getting scared
hit the like button,
and not
please.
covering the case. And then when that didn't work,
oh, you don't have your
mobilized,
stick,
and they're trying to
drama.
like get me kicked out of court, writing letters to the judge, putting stuff on the. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hello?
Got me going in
Yes.
circle. So
Okay.
high and a bird up
Okay.
in the sky. Yeah. Let me find.
Okay, there's somebody downstairs to let them in, so I don't know what the problem is. Hello?
Oh, put us
Yeah.
up.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if they can do a replacement, that'd be great. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, thank you. Okay, bye-bye. God. Okay, so anyway, right? Anyway, don't you hate it when you're trying to get somebody off the phone and they're just like, yeah, another thing, one more thing. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Like, do you not hear that there's a thanks and a thank you and a thank you? When you hear the, that means, can you move it? Trying to be polite, but I got things to do. Don't you see me on live ignoring
Oh,
my
he got,
so
okay, he got, oh, yeah, that was big,
random yet approachable. Yeah, in a game I played,
oh,
there
he
is a
got
guild
whooped.
called Diddy Lotion. The entire server bullies them every day. Exactly.
Oh, those was fans who did that to him?
Let me switch out.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
My microphone was going dead, and y'all
Oh,
know
he
I'm
needed
the
a whole
queen
new
of just
profession.
keep talking when there is no mic. So now I literally have another mic that's charged. All right. Okay. So anyway, JC Decent just got a t-shirt and a mug. You are the bomb. Love you, JCD. Oh, look, I'm getting all my whatever. Oh, Chocolate Soul said, Epiphany 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Right?
Listen, that is so true. That is so
That was
true.
fans. Why
Okay?
you lie
That
about
is so
Kanye?
true. That is what we wrestle with. Again, what is it? The righteous are beset by the tyranny of evil men. Okay, Valentine TV, thank
Was
you for
you
being
there,
a member
South
for 18
Shaker?
months. Said you're always being you. Thank you for everything. Mom is still resting. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Valentine's TV. I'm I'm glad to hear that. You guys, send some love out to Valentine's TV mom. Her mom is going through a tough time, and Valentine is being there for her. Please show her some love and support. Jules to Callie,
Ooh,
thank
somebody
you so much
stumped
for
him.
the super chat. Also, Allie,
Oh,
welcome
wow.
to the family.
Why did he?
Who else do we have?
Why
Mary
did he
from
have to?
Virginia.
Oh, he
You
dragged
got your merch. I
him,
know that's right. Thank
trying
y'all
to get
so
them
much.
pants
And
off.
Heather
Yeah, I
Appears
wish there was a
talented.
way
We
I
need to
could
boots on the
show
ground for
y'all
future
this.
trials. We need to keep you paid up. Thank you so much. I do plan on covering future trials too. You know, listen. Again, a lot of weird stuff was happening in the courthouse. I was going to wait until the trial was over to talk about it, but F it. Right? It is what it is. And I'm glad Stephanie Rotten Mango is doing what she needs to do to stay safe, you know? Everybody's doing what they need to do to stay safe. But again, it's weird energy. And again, maybe because all eyes are on Diddy, nothing will actually happen, but you never want to leave your safety up to a maybe. And I actually think that as Diddy realizes he's not getting out, that's when the crashing out will come. I also know that if he does get out, which he won't, girl, I'll be going straight to the airport. Disco Heartbeat said 2 weeks and I'm now a member. Thank you. You got that rise of my Taz. Thank you, Disco Heartbeat. Keep it going. Keep it going. We need the truth. I know that's right. Listen, again, anyone that says they don't see the RICO, like you said, thank you. Made and lumping service. Thank you so much. You said, love your coverage and content. Keep doing your thing. Thank you so much. Wanda Perez at Tisa, do you think one of the Diddy's attorneys is going to get arrested? Also, why did they send everyone out of the court except Diddy and the attorney? Because this is what I believe. They had to do something with the new juror. Let's call them juror number 7.
Let me make sure.
I don't know if they're juror number 7, but let's talk about juror number 7.
Y'all, why did this man feel the need to take? He got to be a booty bandit. He's standing behind him. He took the whole time to pull that man's pants down and drag him with his pants down. But I want to know, hold on, why the floor? I'm trying to stop it at a good point. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to stop it. Stop. So yeah, he did flip him over. He flipped him over. He flipped him up. He flipped him over. Hold on. Lord, please don't let this thing start. Hold on. He flipped him over right about here. See? So he taking his pants off right here, y'all. He taking them off right there. So let me see if I can. It's too much, man. And now he dragging him. I know I can't show y'all. And then somebody is dang show recording it. But why are they slipping and sliding on the floor? Woo! A girl got in the middle of it. Oh, wow. She got caught. Ooh. Ooh. This was a whole... Oh, wow. They dragged the man with his pants down. They kicked him and stomped him. And then he... I promise he looked like a little chunky baby. And somebody was flipped up, finna change his diaper. Okay, y'all, let's finish this one.
7, right? I'm just throwing a number out there because 7's my lucky number, okay? The proceedings are supposed to be closed. To protect the integrity of the case, the proceedings are closed, which means the public doesn't even know it's under seal, which means the only people that know are the people that are in the judge's chambers, okay? Now, I do not believe that Diddy is allowed in the judge's chambers. However, if they want to have it in front of him, as is his rights, he is allowed to have it in a courtroom, which means they have to.
They had a security guy there.
Okay, I can only guess.
Security allowed all of that to go on.
Number 7, and again, the judge has already put Diddy's team on notice that, to your point, if they mess up again, okay,
they out of there.
He's going to launch a full-scale civil and criminal investigation. He is going to subpoena phones. He is going to check electronic communications. He's going to have people testify under penalty of perjury. He is literally going to launch a full-scale.
Okay, so since we can't watch it, let's see if we can hear it. Y'all hear that brawl? Oh, now they're saying security. And he walking fat and slow. What type of party? I seen somebody else got their pants pulled down. Security ain't doing nothing. That was a big old spot. Okay. Okay. Boss man. Let's continue.
Investigation and hold everybody accountable. And he also put Mark Agnafilio, Yana.
Oh no.
And I'm now a member. Thank you. You got that
boss
right.
Man.
Thank you. Keep it going. Keep it going. We need the truth. I know that's right. Listen, again, anyone that says they don't see the RICO, like you said, thank you. Made in lumping service. Thank you so much. You said love your coverage and content. Keep doing your thing. Thank you so much. Wanda Perez at Tisa, do you think one of the Diddy's attorneys is going to get arrested? Also, why did they send everyone out of the court except Diddy and the attorney? Because this is what I believe. It had to do something with the new juror. Let's call them juror number 7. I don't know if they're juror number 7, but let's talk about juror number 7, right? I'm just throwing a number out there because 7's my lucky number, okay? The proceedings are supposed to be closed. To protect the integrity of the case, the proceedings are closed, which means the public doesn't even know it's under seal, which means the only people that know are the people that are in the judge's chambers, okay? Now, I do not believe
it was
that
Diddy
is allowed in the judge's chambers. However, if they want to have it in front of them,
They're trying to force they're trying to force
which means they have to kick all of us
retrial.
out of
I don't
the
know
courtroom.
why.
Okay, I can only guess that I think it was.
He's
related
still
to
gonna stay in
something
prison.
with juror number 7. And again, the judge has already put Diddy's team on notice that, to your point, if they mess up again, okay, he is going to launch a full-scale civil and criminal investigation. He is going to subpoena phones. He is going to check electronic communications. He's going to have people testify under penalty of perjury. He is literally going to launch a full-scale investigation and hold everybody accountable. And he also put Mark Agnafilio, Yana, on notice that anything that happens from his team, he don't care if it's a paralegal, he don't care if it's a PR person, he doesn't care who it is. Anything that happens on this team, he is going to hold Mark Agnafilio personally responsible. So when these proceedings happen, it's going to be because of Mark will be inside. Now, he did say the same thing to the government, Marine Comey, but we all know he wasn't accusing the government of anything. Because like he said, the court has no reason to push this. This isn't good for the government. Why would the government do something that could end up in a mistrial or something? It defies logic for them to leak it. Also, Pluck the Patriarchy said, I'm so proud of your daughter. I predict big things in your future. Thank you for your energy and your hard work. Well, listen, I actually think this YouTube channel and this community we built is a big thing. So I am ever, forever humbled and grateful, and honestly just humbled and ever so just grateful for the way that you guys allow me to show up authentically.
Yeah, that was in Florida.
And express myself authentically, flaws and all. I really do, really, I'm amazed at the freedom you guys allow me. And for that, I come, I show up, and I
anybody who wants the link,
which is
request it on a super chat or a super sticker.
It's symbiotic. We are family. It's a symbiotic friendship at this point. Y'all feed me. I hope I'm feeding y'all, you know? Sometimes
let's do it like that. If you want to see the fullness, put a
get it together. Eventually,
request it on the
get
super
together.
chat super sticker.
Romalina said, Tisa, I'm paranoid with this trial. Please be careful with your food orders. Oh, don't worry. I order from aliases. Nobody knows what hotel I'm staying at. And I took a cue from Rotten Mango, and I do switch hotels often. So it's fine. It's completely fine. Michelle Washington, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, Tisa, you're on your grind. So happy for you. Thank you. Agua said, Diddy's extraordinary. And thank you so much for it, just because it's amazing to actually be in the courtroom every day. Diddy did a t-shirts.
Who was that earlier today saying Jamal?
Diddy did
talking about she wasn't in the courtroom.
Karma's chief correspondent. Yes, Karma's chief. Listen. Karma's chief correspondent.
Hi, Craig.
Listen, you guys, I do want to say this. Deb B, thank you so much for the super chat. Any other questions? Cali, Bahama family that you guys, that I listened and I actually showed up. You know, not just for the opportunities, but just because it's amazing to actually be in the courtroom every day. It really is. And you know it must be amazing. I'm waking up at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock every morning to go and get a place in line to get into the courtroom because I do not like early mornings. Blessed Child, thank you so much for gifting a membership.
Okay,
and Blue
let's go
on my shoulder. Why would you even be associated with that? Oh no, I would have dipped out. I would have been like, no, I love working here, but I'm gonna go to monster.com and put my job application on there. You know, that's what I would have done.
Okay, hold on.
Exactly. PRC, I'm not taking a break. But I am gonna go with the Tyler Perry.
Y'all ready to go on to the next one? Get my lights up, please.
Trial, day 25. I say the home stretch because for the prosecution it is a home stretch. They are about to wrap up their case.
Hey, I see you.
Make their
I
case.
see you, Maurice.
But today went. It was a little strange. What we were really expecting today was Brendan Paul the former assistant to Diddy. He's the guy who was arrested during the raids in Miami that pulled him off Diddy's private jet. Well, he was supposed to testify
Tawana.
and did come into court at the beginning of the day, pled the fifth, and then took an immunity deal. He never got on the stand, though, today because things really got bogged down with two things. A special agent who testified about a lot of things that may seem really boring, but are really, really important to the case. And freak-off videos. Lots of freak-off videos. So we're going to go through all of that, and then you got to stick around for this because you talk about how the other half lives. Obviously, we know Diddy's a mogul, but how would you imagine that he could possibly run up $1 million, nearly $1 million on his Amex bill in 1 month? We're going to show you. All right. So after Brendan Paul takes his immunity deal this morning, he went out of the room, out of the courtroom. We actually hear Diddy speak in court, to which he doesn't normally. He's usually sitting there pretty quietly, but he did answer the judge, had to say, "Yes, Your Honor," when asked to confirm if he was waiving his right to be present while Brendan Paul got his immunity deal. So
Choosing internet?
Diddy was in back, and this is a sort of preview of what was to come. He was in a holding cell actually watching the videos that were going to be shown to the jurors later that day. These are the freak-off videos. So it's almost like he got a chance to review things that were edited.
Okay, he the best you ever had, Chanel. He ain't the best for me.
Then
I have higher standards. Your standards are low.
Penland, and she is testifying to the details.
So okay, if that works for
you,
you,
and the setup for these freak-offs, and the expense of these freak-offs. Now, a lot of this is going to sound like bookkeeping. I'm not going to go through all of the numbers and everything that she testified about. You can imagine this was a lot about the travel for all of the different male escorts, travel for Jules, travel for Clayton Howard, who's also been called Dave.
I wish people had the higher standards.
And she's going through all of these details for two reasons. One, this
okay,
goes to the Mann Act. This
like
is
I said,
transportation
you should have higher standards. But okay,
I don't know how you can't say the government has Diddy dead to rights on this particular count, because she went through the cost of flights, what airlines they flew on, what hotels they stayed in, the cost of the hotels, and it is outrageous, some of these numbers. But all that goes to the fact that he absolutely, Diddy, was transporting these people for purpose of prostitution. When the defense starts, we know that one of the things that they had said going into this was that they wanted to put this Mann Act on trial. The fact that just because he flew these guys to these parties, to the freak-offs, they're adults, they're consenting, and Diddy's team feels like the Mann Act is an old, outdated, and racist law. So expect some of that next week when they start their case. So beyond those details, there's a lot of testimony about Cassie and text messages that Cassie sent to Diddy, especially on March 5th, 2016, the day of the hotel beating at the Intercontinental Hotel. And they run through a lot of these text messages, but really, we're not going to go through all of it because this again goes back to, it just shows that Diddy was a horrible person to her, a horrible human being to her, a horrible boyfriend. It doesn't really go to any of the criminal counts. It does show panic on his part, though, which is interesting and maybe shows him being concerned that he's losing control over Cassie, and maybe that's why these were brought up. But in particular, there are a bunch of texts right after she leaves the Intercontinental Hotel, and those texts are him sort of panicking, saying, "You're going to abandon me all alone."
Why is he
he even says to
like
her, "I'm about to be arrested," which
no one
we know
talking
was not
about
the case. The
nugget
police
people.
did not show up there. So this is after she's left the hotel. The only
Or
thing
ask
she
Chanel
responded
that,
to
because Chanel
was to
think he
say,
the best
"I
thing
went and
since
checked
sliced
everything
bread.
and spoke to security at the hotel.
She
Jules,
have
the
low
entertainer,
standards
the
in people.
escort who was there with him, Jules left, so you're good, and as long as you don't disturb the other guests,
Ask
they'll
Chanel.
leave you be." So she's saying, just leave me alone. This is awful that you did this to me.
I love me some
Sort of
Diddy.
trying to put his mind at ease.
Diddy do it all for me.
And then the other thing that they showed,
He the
which
best.
there was
He the best.
a reaction that was in the courtroom. We're told that there were some photos showed that
I
were very
wish he would
jarring
let
for people
me
in the courtroom.
freak
We see
him
photos
out.
of wounds to Cassie's
Ain't that right,
eye.
Chanel?
And they ended the day with this text that
Oh yeah,
she
he a
sent
horrible
to
person, but
Diddy
you
saying,
know the people who have
nothing good
low
comes from
self-esteem,
freak-offs. You
they
treat
think
me
he the
like
best.
Turner treated Tina Turner. And that was when they rested for the day. So pretty powerful ending for the prosecution, certainly.
That ain't my best,
that
baby.
text message in there and Cassie's message. Now, this $1 million Amex bill, because
See, them the type of people that he
is
would
one particular
groom.
one, just some of the things that went into that bill.
Impressed with
A
everything.
flight from JFK to LA for one of the entertainers. Stay at the Four Seasons in LA, and there's a travel invoice. This is important.
That's
because
why I always keep it
to
real.
RICO. Travel invoice for Bad Boy Entertainment, and a $500 charge for damages to drapes at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And actually, one of his employees was billed for that, and then they paid him back. So there's an executive assistant who worked for him for 2 years. $950 in linen damages that needed deep cleaning. A $46,000 damage charge. $46,000 in damages at a penthouse suite at the Intercontinental in New York City in Times Square. All of that and a lot more, obviously, went into this total of $944,059 balance for 1 month on his Amex bill. And again, what's really important here, because the one thing you keep hearing people say about this trial is that they don't have RICO. Where is the RICO? Where is this criminal organization that he is running? And all going through all these bills, they're connecting them to Bad Boy Entertainment, and their point is, yes, he had this legitimate company, but behind the scenes, he was using it and using its resources and its employees to pull off criminal activities like these freak-offs. So, winner, loser today, I will say,
he hate to.
it seems, at least for what we can
see. You see how they hate to? You see how they hate to? They hate it. He started breathing all heavy and shit. Are you a Diddy boy? Well, it seems like. And then you go into this heavy explanation. Well, at least at this point. What type of shit? Are you a Diddy boy? I only watch this just to see if you are going to have integrity, Charles, and you don't have none either. Unless you are a Diddy freaker boy. You bend over for him? Why the fuck? I mean, why are you huffing and puffing? You know, I always thought you was a little flaky, but you showing your true colors. Come out. Come out the closet. Bring your ass on out.
loser today, I will.
Oh. And now you have to give a damn whole explanation because you don't want to say.
And again, what's really important here, because the one thing you keep hearing people say about this trial is that they don't have RICO. Where is the RICO? Where is this criminal organization that he is running? And all going through all these bills, they're connecting them to Bad Boy Entertainment. And their point is, yes, he had this legitimate company, but behind the scenes, he was using it and using its resources and its employees to pull off criminal activities like these freak-offs. So, winner, loser today, I will say, it seems, at least for what we can see, the prosecution won big today. They
you have a membership?
this special agent going through all
Oh, he
the
have
details.
membership.
They got closer to RICO. They got Mann Act, and the sex trafficking.
He can't just say they got his ass.
RICO, where is this criminal organization that he is running? And all going through all these bills, they're connecting them to Bad Boy Entertainment. And their point is, yes, he had this legitimate company, but behind the scenes, he was using it and using its resources and its employees to pull off criminal activities like these freak-offs. So, winner, loser today, I will say, it seems, at least for what we can see,
oh my
the
God,
prosecution won big today. They scored.
They ate that ass up, like I said.
All these details.
Ate that
They got
ass
closer to
up.
RICO. They got Mann Act, and the sex trafficking is all about his control over Jane and Cassie, and they got a little bit of that also. The one wild card here is that when they played the freak-off videos, there were more freak-off videos played today after yesterday where they only saw about 2 minutes. Today they saw about 15 minutes worth of material from freak-off videos. The problem is, and the reason I say it's a wild card is, we can't see any of that. Those videos were only shown to the jurors. They had headphones on once again.
Now they need memberships to the parties.
Some of the audio was bleeding out.
How much
would
would
the courtroom could hear
they finna have an orange suit?
But the jurors got to see those videos.
Party.
We didn't see them
In a couple of months, orange suits.
I can't really judge
and
what the jury is walking
baby,
away with, what they're thinking about.
And the drop that soap party.
Certainly, they were shown during cross-examination. So whatever was edited, the defense feels that it supports their case.
Who the hell is Britney Murphy?
Cassie was there and Jane was there
in 2009.
with full consent. They wanted to be there, and this was not a case of coercion.
Who is
That's what we
Britney Murphy?
expect, but again, we couldn't see those videos. So I can't tell, but from what we do know of testimony, this was a big win today for the prosecution.
Absolutely. Shout out to the prosecution. Yeah, he played himself. This is what I say about I'm only gonna speak on my culture. Hi, Michael.
Lottie has said that he believes that Britney was actually unalive and that her death was not accidental or natural. Britney's father has always stood by the fact that he believes that his daughter was poisoned, and he's not the only one. Famed forensic pathologist Cyril Wetch has also said that Britney's case deserves a second look, especially when you look at the fact that her husband died 5 months later in the same house under very similar circumstances. And now the LA coroner's office has confirmed that they are not ruling out the possibility of reopening the investigation into Britney's death, assuming that if new information comes forward, solid evidence, or a confession, or anything that could be linked to her death that would allow them to reopen it. Now, how does Diddy fit into this? I don't really know. It's a conspiracy theory. There is no actual link between Diddy and Britney or Diddy and Simon. It's just a conspiracy theory because of the same thing. But nevertheless, there is something suspicious about Britney's death. Drop in your comments.
I just heard pneumonia.
On this, but I'll be back to let you guys know. Britney Murphy's case might be reopened.
Okay, let's go to the next one. They said pneumonia, and all I can think of is Kim Porter. Bless her heart. Baby, we gotta fall in love with the baby.
Britney Murphy's case might be
we need to fall.
Britney Murphy's case.
Hold on. How long? Oh, okay, let me hurry up, because I'm
Britney Murphy's case might be reopened.
Stop.
I found out.
Hello. I think a guy could.
Britney Murphy. Let me get back over here, and then I'm going to talk listen briefly about what they got to say about Tyler Perry.
Let me tell you why we have Spectrum. I'm on a video chat. Melissa's live streaming with her audience. The kids are on their phone streaming while gaming. What?
Now, so here we are, weeks.
didn't lie and was one of the only 2 black male jurors. They claimed his removal harmed Diddy's right to a fair and racially representative trial, even raising possible racial bias in jury selection. The judge disagreed and officially replaced the juror with an alternate, a white male. Then came more drama. TMZ reported a separate juror received a suspicious text asking if he was juror number 6, raising concerns someone might be talking about the trial outside the courtroom. The judge said he would investigate. Then we heard from DOJ paralegal Anaya Sankar, who presented summary charts based on hundreds of documents, flights, texts, hotel records, and payments. Now, these detailed Christina Korn's coordination of trips, Jane's complaints about hotel nights, and Cassie Ventura's messages where she said, "I just can't anymore." Messages also revealed discussions about escorts.
Oh, man.
Please, I don't have any time.
Oh, hold on.
Presented some tried to contact Mia even after the lawsuit of Cassie Ventura had been filed. Towards the end of the day, speculation about escorts, thousands in cash, and Diddy's staff planning freak-offs. Later, the jury saw text exchange between Diddy's longtime security guard, D-Rock Butler, and a former assistant named Mia, who had previously accused Diddy of abuse. The prosecution showed how Diddy and D-Rock repeatedly tried to contact Mia even after the lawsuit of Cassie Ventura had been filed. Towards the end of the day, Special Agent Delicia Penland resumed her testimony, but with restrictions. The judge made clear she can only summarize factual data, not draw conclusions. She walked the jury through American Express and hotel records tied to Cassie and others, showing how Diddy allegedly arranged and funded group SEX parties using staff and corporate accounts. Yesterday, the jurors saw actual freak-off videos for the first time. Previously, they only saw screenshots and photos of evidence regarding the elaborate choreographed SEX performance parties Diddy commanded. They said one of the jurors covered her eyes, another one winced, and then another one kind of chuckled. The prosecution will be bringing up their last witness sometime this week, and the defense will start bringing in theirs. We are going to get started on day number 25 and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this case and so much more. Now let's get back into it. Now the day starts off with the judge Arun Subramanian reprimanding defense attorneys and prosecutors this morning over an article that he said revealed details of a sealed proceeding that was held this past Friday. Subramanian said, well, someone is lying, after lawyers from both sides told him they didn't know who could have leaked the information. Defense attorney Mark Ignifilo said he learned of the article when the government sent it to the defense yesterday. One or more people in this courtroom or the designated people who were here on Friday flagrantly violated this court's order, the judge said. Subramanian said he'd be investigating and threatened to punish any violators, citing his order that threatens punishment as severe as criminal contempt or sanction. The judge warned both sides that he would seizure their devices and compel people to testify under oath if any other violations occur. Okay, it's 9:02. The jurors have not been brought in. The judge says anything before we bring the jurors in. Combs' attorney Ignifilo says, let's get Mr. Combs in. Judge says, I believe your client would like 10 minutes to review the materials. Ignifilo says, can I ask him that question? The judge says yes. Ignifilo.
Hey, y'all, I need y'all to get the likes up. Double tap the screen before I go into the transcript of,
And that the harassment would not.
oh boy's lawsuit. Get the likes up. So double tap your screen. Just double tap it like that. And if you're not on your phone, hit the like button, the thumbs up.
Says Mr. Combs waves his hands to be present for the immunity application. Judge says, let's proceed then. Brendan Paul takes the stand. That's the DRUG mule. Prosecutor said, did you receive a subpoena? Yes. Do you intend to invoke your Fifth Amendment? Yes.
I plead the Fifth.
We propose the immunity order, says prosecution. Judge says, I will enter it. Thank you, Mr. Paul. Combs is brought in by the U.S. Marshals. Igniplo says we are ready to proceed. Judge says let's have Agent Penland back. Delicia Penland takes the stand again. All rise. Jurors enter. Prosecutor says, good morning. Let's get back to the London hotel. Who stayed there this day? Penland says Sean Combs, Cassie Ventura, Jules Theodore. What are the American Express charges? Virgin American plane ticket for Jules Theodore. And what airline is associated with this charge? American Airlines from JFK to LA. And the hotel, Four Seasons, for Clayton Howard, aka Dave. Let's look at 6T108. What is this? A travel invoice, Bad Boy Entertainment. What is this? A flight for Jules Theodore. What was the payment method? Sean Combs' American Express card. And whose name is the invoice in? Mr. Philip Pines, $500 charge for damage to drapes. And what's this? Booking for the Intercontinental in Times Square in the name of Frank Black. And this charge? Damage to penthouse, $46,786 paid on the American Express. The monthly bill was paid by various accounts at Signature
Oh,
Bank.
I don't know, Ashley. The defense have to present their case and then there's deliberation.
Is that where the Hamptons is? Yes. These communications between Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura, color-coded. What is this? A call from Combs to Ventura.
Probably about 2 weeks.
Let's read this. Skylar can come
Hopefully
later.
less.
Let's do Skylar. Then Skylar responds to Ventura. Go to slide 4, please. Skylar texts Ventura. What area? Then Skylar said, I'm laying head down. Hit me up if we're getting together. Now, what do these 3 boxes show? 3 photos taken by Ventura. What day is this? March 6, 2016. Walk us through. Combs calls Ventura. No answer.
Oh, I know.
Ventura
I can't wait either.
Combs, says, I checked
Ooh,
with
it's gonna be
security.
intense.
Jules left. You're good as long as you don't bother any other guests. Then unanswered calls. What does Combs text Ventura? He texts, call me. The cops are here. Then a call connects. Ventura makes a call to D-Rock. It connects. Combs calls Ventura. No answer. Assistant U.S. Attorney Emily Johnson is presenting a timeline of records related to the March 2016 altercation at the Intercontinental between Sean P. Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura. The records include text messages, calls, and photos beginning with Ventura inquiring about an escort's availability on March 4th. The timeline also shows that Combs made 8 consecutive calls to Ventura around 11:28 a.m., all of which went unanswered. It includes photos of Ventura with a swollen lip, wearing sunglasses, taken at 11:35 a.m. The jury previously saw these photos when Ventura testified that she took them in the car after leaving the hotel. Okay, and this day, March 5th, 2016, Ventura texts, you are sick to think it's okay to do what you have done. Please stay far away from me. I have a premiere. What does Mr. Combs text Ventura? He texts, call me, help. Then he texts, help me. I'm about to be arrested. Then if you don't pick up, you'll never hear my voice again. Okay, and then what? Call not answered. Then Quorum calls Ventura. Okay, and here, Ventura calls D-Rock, then Quorum. The call connects. What does D-Rock text? Tell him to get out of there before they arrest him. He's not picking up. What does Miss Ventura text to Combs? Going to bed. Now what? Morgan to Quorum? Carrie Morgan writes, I don't think anyone should call her, and a photo of an LAPD detective's business card. What next? D-Rock and Quorum each call Ventura. Then Quorum asks, what is Eddie's last name? What does D-Rock text to Combs? Cassie good, she's eating breakfast. Then a 13-minute call. Combs and Ventura. What does Mr. Nash write to Ventura? What time can you today? Arturo is available 3 or 4 p.m. Miss Ventura said, Rock's place. Then Combs calls Eddie Garcia. Eddie Garcia calls back. What does Ventura text? She texts, this was supposed to be a big day for me. Now I wish I could stay in bed. Records show messages between Cassie Ventura and others planning her fitting on March 6th. The timeline shows the photo first shown during Ventura's testimony in which she's wearing a gown and sunglasses during a fitting. On the morning of March 7th, Ventura texts Combs, this was supposed to be a really exciting day for me, and I wish I could just crawl in the bed and stay there until I look better. The timeline shows a series of calls between Combs and former Intercontinental security guard Eddie Garcia on March 7th. The timeline also shows a photo of Garcia's license taken at 2:21, recovered from Christina Quorum's phone. Okay, and here, calls between Combs and Eddie Garcia. And what's this? A photo of Eddie Garcia's driver's license found on Christina Quorum's phone. Now by March 9th, 2016, what occurs? Combs calls Eddie Garcia. Okay, then March 25th, 2016 at 1 p.m., Combs calls Eddie Garcia again. Garcia previously testified that he met Combs to exchange the video footage for $100,000 that afternoon, and while he was there, he signed a non-disclosure agreement, and Combs took a photo of his license. Starting around 2:30 p.m. that day, Ventura called Combs' former security guard, Damian Butler, who goes by D-Rock, in her apartment building to Comstock. D-Rock then called her, and the call connected for less than a minute. Ventura then texts Morgan. "I should have sued," laugh out loud. "Totally," Morgan responded. Combs called Ventura again for about a minute later that afternoon. On March 7th, Combs called Garcia twice, with the second call connecting for about a minute and a half. Two photos on Ventura's phone taken later that evening showed her and Combs together. Garcia called Combs on March 8th for about a minute, and Combs called him later that night, but the call went to voicemail. Combs called Garcia again the next day, and Garcia...
I haven't been to the grocery store in over a year, but I'm eating healthier than ever. Here's how I did it. Meal planning used to be...
I went to voicemail. Combs called Garcia again the next day, and Garcia called him back later, and the call connected. Then on March 25th, Combs called Garcia for about a minute. "Okay, Agent Penland, other than these charts, did you have any involvement in this case?" "No. No further questions. Now time for break." "Okay, break time is over." Judge says, "Let's get Agent Penland back." And now the jury. All rise. Ms. Garrigo says, "You've been at SDNY for 10 years, right?" "Yes." "Let's turn to this date. Did you know Ms. Ventura was in South Africa then?" "No." "December 8th through September 9th, you didn't try to find out who else is in this chat?" "I did not." "You are a special agent?" "Yes." "As a special agent, you know how to look for evidence, right?" "Objection," says prosecution. Sustained. Garrigo says, "Let's turn to August 2009. Under the name Sean Combs, you include several U.S. exhibits. Let's pull one up. August 5th, 2009. Mr. Combs says, 'When do you want to freak off?' Laugh out loud. What does Miss Ventura say?" Agent Miss Cassie says, "I'm always ready to freak out." Now, on this particular cross-examination, defense attorney Teeny Garrigos questions Delicia Penland, a special agent with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, on a list of individuals associated with the meetings in the charts. She said there could have been other people present. "If I do not have the evidence, their name is not in the chart. It does not have the name of every potential person that was in the gathering," Penland testified. Garrigos read a series of messages between Sean P. Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura from different points of time when Ventura wrote sexually explicit messages to Combs, and in one instance she told him she's always ready to freak off. After reading each message, Garrigos then asked the special agent to confirm the message wasn't included in the government summary chart pertaining to Ventura. Some of the messages Garrigos flagged were dated around the time of meetings between Combs, Ventura, and escorts that are listed on the chart. Garrigos continues with her cross-examination. Let's put up this defense exhibit. Miss Ventura writes, "I'm so horny I can't concentrate. I'm going to Dwayne Reed. Pack us a bag. Did you include this in your chart?" "No, I did not." Here, Jules writes to Combs, "I need rest. You guys are rabbits," laugh out loud. "Right?" "Yes." Here, Pop writes to Ventura, "I love you so much. You consume my life. How did this happen?" And Ventura writes, "I wonder that too." "Right?" "Yes." Here, Jules writes to Ventura, "Great to see you, beautiful. And then I am at your door." "Right?" "Correct." Here, Miss Ventura writes, "I'm so horny and bored." "Right?" "Yeah." Here, Mr. Combs says to Miss Ventura, "I'm not asking you to freak off. What do you want to do?" And she said, "I want to smoke, go for a walk. Let's go out and have some carefree fun. I'll go get the Valium." "Right?"
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yes. Mr. Combs writes, "I liked it when Jules was in the room next door. Did you include this?" "No, my job was not to add things, just to check to see if what was added was correct." Mr. Combs writes, "You horny or sleepy?" And she says, "Both." Laugh out loud. Put on headphones. Everyone hears some soothing piano music. Good. Play the video. Jurors are still watching the video with headphones on. Garrigo says, "For the record, Ms. Foster has to put it on minute 14. Now, the jury watched portions of the video that they viewed yesterday, recorded on October 14, 2012. Cassie Ventura previously testified that the video showed her and a man she referred to as Dave during a freak-off. They also watched portions of another video recorded on the same day. The jury watched portions of another video that was recorded on October 20th, 2012, Ventura previously testified that video showed her and a man called Jules during a freak-off. They are now watching portions of a video that was recorded December 4th, 2014. Garagos says, Your Honor, shall we take a break now? He says, how much longer do you have? An hour. I took much longer than I expected. Okay, now then, says Judge. Now they're at lunch break. Lunch break is officially over and we are back. It's 1:34. Judge says, Miss Garagos, are you ready to proceed? Garagos says, as soon as Mr. Combs is out. Sean Combs is brought in from the holding cell. Judge says, you are conferred about the other matter. Prosecution says the court can question the juror. We defer. Shapiro from Diddy's side says we prefer in the courtroom to the robing room so Mr. Combs can observe. Judge says let's get Agent Penland back. Witness retakes the stand and the jurors enter. All rise. Garagos says, we watch videos. Now exhibit 1307. Garagos continues, this is a stipulation that the video was found under the Frank Black profile on device provided by Cassandra Ventura. I also want to remind you that Penland confirmed that all 5 of the explicit videos that the jury watched today were all recovered from a Frank Black user profile on one of Cassie Ventura's devices. The videos are sealed because they're sexually explicit. Here Mr. Combs wrote, coming to NYC this weekend. What does Miss Ventura reply? It's really nice here. Mr. Combs writes, I got us ticks for the Book of Mormon. That was not in your exhibit, was it? It was not. He writes, you ready for tonight? That's the day before the videos we looked at, right? Correct. If we could pull up what's already in evidence, page 18. That was not in your exhibit, was it? It was not. He writes, you ready for tonight? That's the day before the videos we looked at, right? Correct. If we could pull up what's already in evidence, page 18, please. This is not included in your chart, right? Correct. Miss Ventura writes, keep having sexy flashbacks of yesterday. You see that? Yes. What does Miss Ventura write? She writes, I brought the best sexy outfits for later and shoes. What does she write next? She writes, I promise I will be the nastier, freaky bitch to make up for it. What does Miss Ventura write next? She writes, can't buy Astro. It's too expensive. When should I take it? Where is it? Mr. Combs writes, it's in the bag. It's the orange pill. What does Miss Ventura write here? Miss Penland says, she writes, I can't wait until we have a baby. Happy Father's Day. Mr. Combs writes, what do you want to do, baby? She writes, I wish we could have freaked off before you left. So basically, the defense is trying to prove that Ventura talks about planning the logistics of the freak-offs with Combs, sometimes saying that she wants to have freak-off when Combs asks, and other times they exchange sexually explicit messages. Many feel that the text between Cassie Ventura and Sean Combs being shown to the jury could help to support a key element of the defense's case, that Ventura had free will in the relationship to make decisions, including about her participation in DRUG and SEX fuel freak-offs. Ventura says in the message, I love you so much. You make me a better woman, daughter, sister. Ventura also thanked Combs for showing her love and happiness the way it's supposed to be. While prosecutors say Combs was an abusive and controlling power figure who used violence and other measures to control Ventura, his attorneys say that she was desperate to be close to him and bitter over the fact that he saw other women, including the now deceased mother of his children, Kim Porter. February 2013, Combs wrote, maybe one of those nights. And Ventura responds, yes. Miss Garagos continues, please. What does Miss Ventura write here? She writes, I hated that I don't use protection when I get high. I'm gonna get tested. Mr. Combs writes, let's freak off now. What does she write? She writes, okay, what hotel? Mr. Combs writes, I'm locked in my bathroom talking to my therapist. What do you want to do? She writes, it takes Jules hours to get here. Hotel needs you to call. Give Dave access. Do you see Dave Shirley write to KK? Yes. Now, defense attorney Tina Garagos asked Delicia Penland if she reviewed any materials indicating a meeting around New Year's Eve 2016 to 2017. Penland confirmed that she did not. Now, Cassie Ventura's friend Deontay Nash previously testified that he saw a man enter Ventura and Sean P. Diddy Combs' hotel room during a New Year's trip to Las Vegas that year. Garagos continues, you spoke on direct about Skylar. Yes, and the message about the cops are here, but not evidence of any 911 calls, right? There is not. This photo of the detective's business card is the only thing about police, right? Objection, says prosecution. Sustained. You included a call between Ventura and Combs. Was that a FaceTime call? I don't know. Garagos says no further questions. Judge says redirect. Prosecution says yes, briefly. The hotel in Riverhead. Who was there? Penland says Combs, Ventura, and Clayton Howard. Okay, in this photo, wounds above the eye. Cassie writes, so you can remember, and sends the text and photo to Mr. Combs. Prosecution says nothing further, and the judge allows the jurors to leave for today. Very short day once again, and no Brendan Paul. Now,
Yeah,
right now,
I need 20 likes so we can get to our,
presenting a pattern of organized
what's his name?
misconduct
Tyler
supported by
Perry.
aligned testimony from multiple women, financial records, text messages, audio recordings, and the freak-off videos. They argue Diddy ran a coordinated operation involving staff like Christina Coram and Jonathan Perez to arrange freak-offs and transport women and men across state lines, framing it under RICO. Meanwhile, the defense claims that these were toxic but consensual relationships, challenging witnesses' credibility and highlighting inconsistencies, affectionate texts, and financial exchanges. Their strategy focuses on raising doubt and reframing the case as personal drama, not organized crime, but unless they can dismantle the prosecution's pattern, the government holds the advantage. Prosecutors have said they will likely rest their case with Sean P. Diddy Combs tomorrow, but it could still spill into Friday morning, considering there is no court on Thursday, which happens to be Juneteenth. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything currently going on?
Y'all get my lights up? I said I need yeah, I need 20 likes. Satoya says she talking to y'all. Just sitting over there Cadillacing. Oh, okay. I need the lights up.
We've taken our classic chicken sandwich to the next level with
I'm sure that will be thrown around a bit. This is not criminal. This is a civil law. Someone and people thought it was Tyler, never confirmed, but there was a loud rumble over the
Oh, okay, y'all taking lights away? You taking your lights back? You miss AunTeaFee? Oh my goodness. I miss you too, Primo. What, Aunt? Why are you here? Those must be things you need to do. .com, yes. We taking them back if you... Okay, well, let me remove you. Bye. Bye.com. I'll show you how that works. You ain't getting it from me. How about that?
I'm like, well, that was your cue. That was your cue, buddy. That was your cue that you might want to relax, you know. If
hey, Debbie.
True, or if it's not true, whatever. You might want to relax. Well, a few days ago, one of the actors that was on Ruthless, and I think it was another one that he was on for Tyler Perry,
Derek Dixon has filed a lawsuit over there in LA. And he has a lot of allegations. But part of those allegations, and again, these are just allegations, they have to be proven. But I guess so that we, the public, know in his mind that we would not, think of this type of information. He put receipts in there. Okay, he has text messages, which of course it would have to be authenticated as to what device it came from, because people do like make up text messages. We're not gonna say that they don't. So from the court of law perspective, they would be authenticated, a foundation, and all of that. Tyler, I don't want to believe, and I was talking to someone earlier, and I was like, I just don't want to believe that he would be sloppy like this. Like,
Yeah, I can't see that, but we gonna see.
And flirt with him on with all of this stuff that is going on. And again, this is all alleged, Tyler. We're not saying that you did this, but what I am saying is this man did add some receipts. And yeah, we're about to go over it. It is a lot of pages, but some of it is being, I think it's 40-something pages, but part of those pages are being taken up by text messages. So again, it's all over the internet by now. I was going to rest and I wasn't going to talk about it. Okay, I was like, I'm going to finish.
I wasn't going to talk about it either.
And then I said, well, I think I have to talk about it. So here we are. Make sure you hit the like button so everybody knows that we are on. Please subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, but if they're not going to get my likes up, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, all of that good stuff, because we're going to be here for a couple of minutes. So I hope you guys, name change 412 said, oh my goodness, I'll wait for the evidence before making judgment.
Double tap your screen.
Yeah. So again, this is a civil lawsuit. So the consequence is liability. If he is found liable, this is not a guilt or not guilty as in the criminal court of law. I'm sure that will be thrown around a bit. This is not criminal. This is a civil lawsuit. For it to be criminal, it has to be brought by the DA or prosecution within that state or county.
So he just filed a lawsuit.
A civil lawsuit of which there are some allegations, along with some text messages, of some inappropriate behavior by Tyler Perry. This is what the allegations are. And yes, I'm sure he will respond. I predict he will probably attempt to respond, perhaps with maybe trying to dismiss it, because LA, they do have different ways to try to dismiss it on the pleading. Will it? Sounds like a question of fact for me, by the little bit I read. I haven't read all of it. So if you get my reactions, there'll be genuine reactions, because I have not really read it. Read a few articles, and I think I seen the text messages when I was scrolling through. So I did look at a couple of text messages, but that is correct. We are looking for harm, damages. They'll probably ask for punitive damages, which is that he will be punished at the end, but you'll see that in the prayer for relief after each count. Now the first probably,
okay, I'll see y'all later.
30 pages or so will probably be the factual allegations